Let's open our next sample code, which is this the same program, but this time what is new here is that this part of our program, which deals with opening a file, trying to write information into it, we wrap this block of code into try and except block. Okay, this is this sort of like decoration, and try means that we are expecting that things could go wrong. Something could go wrong, and we are expecting it to happen. And here we already observed this permission error, so we can say we don't want permission error to basically crash our program. We are anticipating it, and we will handle it, and we will let program, in our case, just simply exit gracefully, but without the crash. Obviously, when we handle an exception, and this is an error that we'd like to keep track of, we can log it. We create a log file and write information about this situation to a log file. And when the user tells us that there is a problem, we can open the log file and examine the information that we saved as a result of error handling. So this is the mechanism. We're basically saying that in case of permission error happens anywhere in this block of code, right? So everything from try to except, these are the keywords in Python. If in this block we have a permission error, we simply say that we want to transfer control to this line. This is a comment line, so obviously there will be the next line. So this time, the same situation, the read-only attribute still is set on contacts.text, and I'm just going to run the second version of my program. It's called 11.2, file write errors. And so this time, it looks very similar. And this output was generated by Python, and this is the result of program crash. This time, I say that in case if we experience this problem, we don't have enough permission to continue, we're going to print something, and we're going to say we have this exception type, and we're going to say that this exception had certain arguments that when it was created, which is parts of this helpful information. And so here you can see that the type of an exception is permission error. That's pretty consistent what we had, what we already know. And the file system reports error number 13 could also be looked up in the standard POSIX, portable operating system format, number of errors. Number 13 is one of the errors. It's a permission error, and its description is permission denied. Okay, so we didn't have permission, and since this information is critically important to solve if this is a bug in our program, this trace back this whole information about which file and which line of code and so forth, and even information about which part of the program has crashed, is still available from this exception object that we are given, right? This is the reference to the exception object, which we can use in this traceback print exception to the standard output. So you can see that the current exception is already known in this except block, and we need to import to be able to print this traceback information, right? So this is us proactively printing this information. This is not the result of the crash. We are proactively displaying this information, and we need to import traceback. Okay, and so in the traceback module, there is print exception, and this will print the information to standard error standard output stream, but we can control where to direct this output. We could use a file, for instance, right? Like I mentioned before, we could use an error log file somewhere and be able to capture this information. Right now, I'm just saying, let's just print it to standard output. Standard output, in our case, of course, after the file was closed and everything. So we're displaying everything on the screen. So, and then just to prove that the program did not crash and we exiting gracefully, we print by, and you can see that by is now being printed nicely. And so the program was able to respond to this error. Right, so we're doing something different, and it was not that difficult, right? It just basically saying the same program, but now we have the try and except, which except block, which catches the exception. And these are the examples of what you can do with exception in terms of finding out what's going on there, right? So what information is available about this problem.